Steve Pittman. I'm president of the board.
Okay, and director?
Mary Ellen Icaza.
Okay, and of course, Edmund Mack, a board member of the Stark County District Library and spokesperson today for the Stark County District Library. And of course, Edmund is highly experienced in government, having been a Canton City Councilman for the 8th Ward for what, 8 years?
5.5 years.
5.5? Okay.
It's gone so fast.
Okay. And these folks today were into the commissioner in a really pretty impressive show from my perspective as a media person that you were in, and you were pretty firm when you were in several weeks ago. Wanted to have a continuous levy, and of course anyone who's ever been have a government function can appreciate that because you don't like to be running out and having to spend your time and effort on levies. But Stark County is kind of unique, as I think that Commissioner Creighton was implying today, that we have a tradition of fiscal conservancy in terms of how long levies will go. And so the Stark County District Library, through Mr. Mack, expressed to the commissioners that the library district will be asked to have the continuous levy changed to an 8-year levy. And so just a reaction from each of you, starting with the board president, as to the quality of the discussion today.
Well, I thought it was a very high-quality discussion. I was very pleased to hear the commissioners express their support and endorsement of the library. It was very heartening, very encouraging, and it really supported our decisions as a board to rescind our request for a continuous levy and to amend that for an 8-year levy. Because as we thought about it, as Edmund articulated so very well, we heard what the commissioner said, and we agree with what the commissioner said. So it was in the best interest of the library that we serve and the residents of Stark County, which we serve, to make sure that we present to them a levy that will be approved by the board, by the voters, because we very much, as we demonstrated today, we very much need the funding to really maintain the level of service that the community's become accustomed to.
And the newly appointed executive director?
Yes, I was grateful for the dialogue that we were able to have today and the opportunity to talk with the commissioners about our plans for what we will do with the levy in support of our community. And the library, we serve everyone in the community, and I'm glad we had the opportunity to share how we're going to improve library services, our facilities, and make improvements moving into the future.
Okay, and Mr. Mack.
No, I echo the comments of Chairman Pittman and our new executive director, and I'll tell you, things are special at the library. Just the team of hardworking professionals that are willing to think critically about issues like this, because I can't stress enough. I mean, this was an entire the decision certainly that originated with the board was made by the board, but as a matter of fact, was implemented by, the leadership and employees of an entire institution. And with Mary Ellen and Jean McFadden and Derek Gordon and, Stephanie with our public relations team, it's very rewarding to work with top-notch professionals, and it's far more rewarding to know it's for all the right reasons. And so I could not be more thankful for the commissioners and their critical feedback, and then ultimately in their support of what we're trying to do. It means a lot to us.
Okay, and then just one final question that I'm unclear on, and I saw your chart where the monies are going to be allocated if the 2.2 mil levy passes, and the part that I want to focus on is the 1.6 million for facilities. And there has been talk, and it may be ill-founded talk, that one of the possibilities in the plan is a replacement of the main library building here on Market Avenue in pretty close to downtown Canton. Can I get a response to that?
With the analysis that we've compiled in terms of the actual construction costs is based on a review that was done by HBM Consultants, which is an architectural firm from Cleveland that practices nationwide, but happens to be in Northeast Ohio, and they specialize in libraries. That figure is a square footage calculation of the improvements that are needed to improve each facility. And so when we talk about, what's going on at the North Branch or at DeHoff or at Matt Judd's, those are the numbers that are comprising that extra $1.6 million.
And that will be $1.6 million per year over the 8 years?
Yes. We only have 2 facilities of our 10 locations that are less than, I believe,
It's been since, as I recall, it's been since 2005.
Right.
As I recall, that's our newest vintage property. So what Edmund's speaking to is that these are estimates across the system.
Exactly.
Okay. Does it include the projected new Jackson Library?
it does not.
It does not. That is something that we are committed to building already. So
Okay.
that is outside.
Okay.
And I certainly, this is something that we've discussed quite frequently, and I'm sure something that voters, just by common sense, would appreciate. We are committed to Jackson. We have an incredible partnership with that township and an amazing opportunity.
Right.
But obviously, if we're not able to make this vision become a reality in terms of these revenues, building that is going to be certainly much more of a challenge. And the strain it will put on our operations could be significant. This is important.
Okay. So just for my own clarification, can patrons of the Stark County District Library, and especially folks who live in Canton proper, and of course you were a city official with the city of Canton, so what does the future hold for the main facility here in Canton?
Well, we're going to continue to improve it. There was some improvements that began a few years ago, so we anticipate completing those. And again, this will evolve as time evolves and as needs evolve. But there are no immediate significant plans for the main branch other than to refresh it and address some of the deferred issues, some of the deferred maintenance issues, and some of the deferred refreshment of the space and reconfiguring the space.
And I would agree with Steve. Further analysis would need to be done on every site to look at it in more detail. But generally speaking, it's across the board, the deferred maintenance.
Okay. Anything?
Technology as well.
Anything else you want to share with Stark Countyans that receive services from the Stark County District Library on this matter?
Vote yes.
Okay.
Virtual library.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking time to educate the voters to the Stark County District Library.
Thank you.
Thank you.